First, though, in 2002, at just 16 years of age, red-haired and pale-skinned Nicola Roberts was shot into the world of celebrity when she became one-fifth of girl band girls Aloud. But after 6 years of sunbeds, fake tans, lotions, potions, Nicola took the brave decision to turn her back on the bronze and become proud to be pale.
After recent statistics revealed a staggering 70,000 people are diagnosed with skin cancer every year in the UK alone, Nicola decided to take to the streets to change the attitudes of young girls in the UK, starting with 21-year-old Megan.
How long were you going on them before you started to turn?
It took me about 2 months to get, because I used to peel, but I never peeled like bad, just little peels, and then after 3 months, my skin just kept keeping the tan then.
And was that every day you were going on?
Every day for 12 months.
Did you want some bed today?
Yes, did you? I know. I can't help it. I really seriously, no, I really can't. It's not funny, I can't.
Why do you think it's bad?
Women who go on the sunbeds, and they've been going on for years, and their skin is just a leather.
Yeah.
Said leather.
The way I look at Megan is the way people used to look at me. And it's just funny now, me being on the other foot and looking at, like, a little Nicola. It's just like, God, so that's what it was like. That's what I look like.
Well, Nicola Roberts, Megan Carey, plus Dr. Chris, who himself had skin cancer, twice, in fact, join us now. And Nicola, welcome. Nice to see you.
Morning.
Thank you.
So, what sort of pressure, when you were younger, growing up in Liverpool, what sort of pressure was there on you to change the colour of your skin?
I mean, back then it wasn't necessarily outward pressure. It was kind of pressure that was coming from within. Like, it was something that I hated. It was something that I was really, really insecure about. Like, I felt like being so white and having, God, white legs was ugly, and I just had a really negative, outlook on all of that. And then as I was started to get older, obviously I was in the band, and then I would, I would read comments about being pale, and I would hear people, and so, I remember one guy saying, God, you need to go on the sunbed. And from a very young age, I was always I always knew that it wasn't a favoured look. And so it was just something that I was just really insecure about.
So did you do the sunbeds?
I did try the sunbeds, yeah, but it wouldn't work. It would just make me go red. That's why I was so fascinated by Megan, because I remember saying to you, how did you manage to get your skin to that shade? And she just said, just burning every single day, because I'd go on and it would burn and then it would go pale. I mean, had I have stuck at it, maybe my skin would have changed, but through burning.
So you went down the sort of self-tanning route
I had to
eventually.
because the colour I wanted to be, the sunbed wouldn't give me, so I had to kind of get that golden look from fake tan.
And yet you were working, 20-hour days with the girls, you were busy, you were working so hard, and yet instead of coming home and catching 4 hours sleep, you'd be there exfoliating, tanning, trying to be what was expected of you. And there's a picture of you.
That's extraordinary looking at you in that picture.
I know,
It's
isn't it?
incredible.
Did you feel singled out from the other girls? Did you feel like people were particularly picking on you?
Not necessarily picking on me. That's hard for me to say, but yeah, I felt singled out, and I kind of felt like I was a little bit like the piece of the jigsaw that didn't necessarily fit. Yeah, and at 16, you just want to be a part of the jigsaw, and you want to be, attractive, and you do. You want to fit in. You don't necessarily, I don't think, at 16, want to stick out. Never mind stick out for the wrong reasons.
So what made you change your mind and decide, right, I'm not going to do that anymore?
It was kind of a long process, and the older I got, the more kind of I was becoming more rounded of a character, and reading comments and being like, I actually, the older I got, I would start to say to myself, who are you to tell me that I'm too pale, or, I look this way, or I look that way, and you want me to look this way? It's just, like, it's not fair,
so it was a
actually.
confidence thing
It was
that
a
came with
confidence thing.
age.
And, I'm lucky enough to be surrounded. We have a really close team of strong women and positive thinking women, and a lot of kind of, the girls were very supportive and was always like, Nicola, just please be pale, and started to really get into fashion, and, obviously seeing models who were really quirky looking, and kind of associated myself, not associated, but kind of thought that I looked more like them than what I did more like the girls, so I found comfort in that, really.
Well, Megan, you have the same skin tone, don't you, as Nicola? And you say that you were also under pressure, you feel.
Yeah, I did this because all my friends are brown. They're brown, so I wanted just to fit in, so I went on...
Are they brown because of sunbeds?
Yeah, because of sunbeds, so I wanted to fit in, so I just started using the sunbeds loads though and burning and just keep going on still. My skin got used to it.
So at your worst, how often were you using sunbeds?
I used them every day, and if I could, I'd go on twice. I'd go to one sunbeds and then go to another one, because they wouldn't let me go on twice.
And were you aware of the dangers? Has a lot's been made publicly about it, or did you just choose not to hear it?
No, I knew there was risk and stuff. I just thought, cancer, you get a cut out and it's gone, but I just thought it won't happen to me. Do you know what I mean?
I think that that's a misconception as well, that not that people are ignorant, but I think that, you know, definitely before I started to shoot the documentary, I was under the influence of you just have a cancerous mole and it's kind of scratched off and then you go on with your life. It's not until I started shooting the documentary and, you know, I mean, I'm not sure if you've seen the clip, but there's a lady called Lynn who I had to go into surgery with, and she was having, like, and I'm talking fistfuls of, like, chunks churned out of her body, and I just couldn't believe that.
We've got you
cancer.
meeting Lynn, actually. I've got a clip here. We're just scrabbling through to try and find it. Here it is. When you're ready, no?
That's life.
Right. All of this is sun damage. Let's see the other side. See here, and this is even more.
That's not the right clip. That's not the right clip. So, see, I think they've got it now. Here we go. That's the right one.
Because this kind of skin cancer is so aggressive, surgeons need to act very quickly. Today, Lynn will be undergoing a major operation to see if the cancer has spread.
Can you feel that going in? Yeah, I can.
Yeah? And some pain relief stuff as well. You'll feel a bit more relaxed.
Yes, we feel nice. Think about nice things, think
Yes.
about your kids. Be there for me, Nicola.
Start by giving you some oxygen to breathe.
Is
right?
mask okay?
Good. Keep your eyes open if you like.
And Chris, that really is the reality, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Dying for a tan. Pay now, burn later. You know, there are all sorts of phrases that relate to this. The important thing in terms of skin cancer, and as you mentioned, I've had it twice. I used to, go on sunbeds every day, but I'm talking 30 odd years ago, and we didn't really know how strong the association was. The interesting actually about Liverpool, 50% of the 15 to 17-year-old girls in Liverpool use sunbeds regularly. Half of those teenagers, 15 to 17.
You, we just showed a beginning of the clip, we'll show the full bit now, and this was when you were shown to, you went in to meet a dermatologist, and you were shown the damage that you'd done to your face, which I think is what shocked you into deciding, right, actually this is serious, it can happen to me, and in fact, it is. This is that clip.
Right, all of this is sun damage. Let's see the other side. See here, and this is even more, okay? This is even more. This area here is really quite dark and pigmented, and that's worrying, and this here as well.
You've got a lovely face.
You've got a perfect face, and if you stop tanning now, and if you start using sensible creams and protection, you've got a very good chance of repairing quite a lot of this damage. If you carry on, there's one thing that's definitely going to happen. You're going to get wrinkles and crinkles and sunspots that are very difficult to treat. And you're also going to get a risk of, most importantly, melanoma, okay?
You had no idea what was going underneath your skin.
That's so frightening, isn't it, to actually see that? Your face facing you with all of that damage.
Because you don't see, like, the effects of what the sunbeds are doing underneath. And when I put my face in and then it come up, I was, what was I like?
Yeah,
I was so shocked.
What do you say to anyone who's doing that sunbed to that degree?
Stop while you can, because I'd rather just use tan now than go on the sunbeds.
Last 30 seconds to you, Chris.
Well, Scotland, you can't use sunbeds under the age of 18, and of course that's what Nicola's campaigning for in England. Is that right?
Yeah.
That
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and also really, we should do away with automated, coin-operated sunbed salons, because kids of any age can use them. They're not supervised. You
No
know?
control.
And also look for any change in your body. If you've got a mole that's changed in size, shape, colour, itches or bleeds, see your GP.
The Truth About Tanning is on BBC Three on Thursday at 9 o'clock. And thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For further help and information on skin cancer, have a look at our website. It's itv.com/thismorning.